I think we need to pause, Just hit the brakes for a bit. That's what Sarah told me on a Wednesday. I just took a breath, looked at her, and said, okay. What Sarah didn't know was that the down payment for our starter home was sitting in a cashier's check in my glove box. We'd been touring houses for 6 months. I'd even sweet-talked the seller into leaving the custom backyard fire pit she loved. I had it all planned out. We'd move in, I'd pop the question by the fire, and we'd finally start the life she'd been talking about since we were 22. But there we were, sitting on our cheap couch. As she explained, she needed to explore her independence and date herself for a while. I didn't argue, I didn't beg, I just nodded. I think she wanted a fight. She kept waiting for the tears, the grand romantic gesture, something. But I just helped her pack her stuff into her Honda Civic. The very next day, I drove straight to the bank and tore up that cashier's check. $50,000 right back into savings. Then, I did something Sarah had always called a pipe dream. I signed the lease on a rundown storefront downtown. For years, I'd talked about opening a bakery. Not a hobby, a real brick-and-mortar bakery. But Sarah was always practical. You can't pay a mortgage with sourdough, Mark, she'd say. Stick to the corporate job. It's safe. Well, safety was off the table. A month later, I was covered in flour, sleeping on an air mattress in the back room, and working 18-hour days. It was exhausting, and it was the happiest I'd been in years. I hired a girl named Mia to help with the morning rush. She was an art student with flour constantly streaked in her hair, and she loved the bakery chaos as much as I did. We spent hours perfecting a croissant recipe, laughing until our sides hurt over burnt batches. 6 months passed, the bakery was thriving, and Mia and I, well, we were thriving too. Then, out of nowhere, my phone lights up. A text from Sarah. Hey, I've been thinking about us a lot. I'm ready to unpause. Let's talk. I showed the text to Mia, who was covered in powdered sugar. She just smirked, wiped her hands on her apron, and said, tell her the oven's already full. So, I replied, sorry, I found someone who prefers a rolling pin to a pause button. Best of luck. Sarah's response was instant and predictable. You're throwing away a sure thing for some little bread shop. It's a mistake. I just laughed, put my phone on silent, and went back to baking. The only mistake I made was not hitting pause sooner.